Let's begin on a celebratory note. Now, yours sincerely received an award as the Journalist of the Year 2022 Nigerian Service Award in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Also, TVC News correspondent Ola Awakon won the Television Production of the Year at the Nigerian Media Merit Award, NMAE, on Sunday. Let's share the story with you.
The media plays a vital role in shaping the society. In Nigeria, like other countries across the world, journalism is one of the noblest of professions, as practitioners usually get recognized for their hard work and contributions to society. In recent times, a lot has changed, and most journalists no longer get the recognition they deserve. This is not unconnected to the growing impression by the society that more journalists now prefer to propagate fake news due to the influence of brown envelopes. It has undermined public trust in the media and eroded the integrity of the profession. Among the flock of wolves, there are still journalists who do their jobs diligently and who refuse to be swayed by money.
Service abroad will be released of the year. And he is from TVC. Please help me to welcome Ayo Ezekiel Ozuka. I'm sure you can celebrate him some more. Let's put your hands.
Civil society organizations have decided to honor and appreciate those journalists and other Nigerians who are doing well in their professions over the years. At this ceremony, TVC News political correspondent Ayo Ezekiel Ozubakun bagged the Journalist of the Year award for the program Journalist Hangouts. He and other journalists who bagged awards urge those in the profession to be passionate about their jobs and keep telling the truth with verifiable information.
Do more in terms of being a watchdog, to do more in terms of bringing the best to the people, to do more in terms of researching more, knowing what our leaders are doing.
Something that will positively impact the space that they find themselves.
To provide sustainable living for the environment, let us always do more in the area of education, in the area of health, environment, and what have you.
Should be a worthy ambassador to the Nigerian Service Award, so that when people see them tomorrow, they should be able to say, okay, fine, they truly deserve the award.
Award recipients are happy for the recognition given to them for rendering services to the nation's development and encourage others to play their part in nation building. Mary Mohammed, TVC News, Abuja.
This gives me joy, it gives me happiness, and I believe that this is what journalism should stand for, professionalism. And I'm so happy, I'm so delighted, and I feel that this is time for us to begin to do more. To add to the humanity, development of the society, and in general. So I'm so happy for this award, and I thank the organizers of the Nigerian Media Merit Award for this, and recognizing excellence in the media space. I'm just so excited. This is like the third or fourth time that I will be, nominated, and for me to win this today, it shows that I am being recognized for the good job I'm doing in the media space.
Our own Ola Awakon and Chile.
And our own Ayo Zubak.
Yeah.
Our very own. Or you will say your own Ayo. So it's good to be honored for the work that we do. We receive a lot of insults.
Honestly. For
doing this work. And yes, sometimes you just wonder what's going on. What have we done? Honestly. Because
the bitterness
to speak the truth is something that if most people had a choice, they would rather not do. People will tell you, "Say one are you the only one? Why must you let them hear it from your mouth?" But the truth is by nature self-evident. You can abuse us from now till tomorrow. We won't stop. And because that is what majority of the people get. The truth is Our people appreciate what we are doing. The ordinary folks out there, ordinary people out there appreciate what we are doing. The people who abuse us, it is their problem. As long as we know that we are providing joy for the greater majority of our people who treasure the truth, honestly, whatever anybody says does not bother me. All those spaces where people can make comments, abuse people that they are not good enough to lace their boots, I no longer read them. I will not read them.
It's better.
Yes, go to YouTube, abuse people, see, you're good for nothing. Look at that Baji. They all too know. He thinks he knows everything. Oh, if we think we know everything, why are we bringing people to come and answer questions on our programs? I mean, when you hear someone saying, "Oh, Mr. No," when he's called, is jealous of the fact that you are a reservoir of knowledge. It's as simple as that. It's just beefing you because of the knowledge that God has deposited in you. It's nothing else. Nothing else. Oh, he assumes that he knows everything. Mr. Tuno.
NMA representing again this year.
Yeah, it's becoming a pattern. And like Gide said, there's a Yoruba saying, "Oloto Leni," a truthful person does not really have friends, because truth itself doesn't need friends. It's the truth. As we say in Yoruba, if the lie has been running, galloping for 20 years, it takes the truth only one day to catch up. So whatever the program has achieved, if you weigh those who are against the program and those who are for it are the greater majority. And I know this because wherever one goes, people appreciate what journalist Hangout is doing for them. Yeah. And they are very happy because on this program, they see most of the time, they see balance that other programs do not offer. Because we go out of our way to make sure everything is balanced and the nuances are something that they can work with. Congratulations, Ayo. You're always an award winner. I don't know why this is strange, but we prefer to get money.
It's not as if it is strange. We sat down here, Ayo and I, and veterans of the Nigerian Civil War, they brought awards to come and give us. We didn't know them.
I remember.
From other
war veterans, people who fought in the Civil War. Yeah. They came together, presented awards to Ayo and I. Unfortunately, my own was burnt in that fire. Yes. It's one of the regrets that I have. Because I didn't know these people. You see, the things that we do, we just do our best.
I know.
We just do our best. And in the eyes of the good people in our country,
majority of them,
our best has been good enough. Our best has been deserving of awards here and there. We can't count how many times do we win awards. It's not, but occasionally we talk about it. Oh, we are rewarded here. Let's
quickly take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's journalist Hangout. We'll be right back.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) in the coming 2023 elections in Nigeria. With a solid background in corporate accounting, consultancy, pro-democracy activism, political career and achievements as a two-term governor of Lagos State and his role as the national leader of the ruling political party, Asiwaju is a great icon in the political and democratic stage in Nigeria. However, with the unethical activities of his political opponents and recent campaign of calumny by these elements, it is now time to set the record straight and put a final end to these false allegations. This is a true story for all Nigerians to know that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu clearly has no prior criminal convictions. The documents released by the Northern District of Illinois headquarters in Chicago on a narcotic trafficking and money laundering in an early 1990s case in Chicago, USA, did not indict Asiwaju. A U.S. federal judge subsequently dismissed the matter with prejudice on the 21st of September 1993, which effectively foreclosed the matter from being litigated again by all parties. In legal terms, a dismissal with prejudice means the ruling is the final judgment in the case. This dismissal prohibits the prosecutor from refiling the charges anywhere. With this foreclosure, these charges cannot be brought against Asiwaju in any other court of law worldwide. On the 4th of February 2003, the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria, in response to inquiries by Nigerian Police Force, wrote a letter to the then Inspector General, Mr. Tafa Balogun, and stated that the Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) and the National Crime Information Center (NCIC) had conducted record checks and the results were negative for any criminal arrest records, warrants or warrants for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. With the U.S. clearance of any criminality, this campaign of calumny against Asiwaju has no basis. The recent visit of the U.S. government officials to Asiwaju's presidential campaign office in Abuja, amongst other countries' ambassadors, further consolidates this position of truth. Let's end this distraction to Nigeria's democratic future and focus on supporting the only man whose track records clearly show that he is the most experienced and qualified man to lead Nigeria in 2023. It should not be surprising that Asiwaju is the target of all these insults, abuses, and campaign of calumny because he is the man to beat. He is a main contender for the Nigerian presidency because he stands head and shoulders far above any other contender. And because of his political success, his track record of achievements, his acknowledged vision, his remarkable knowledge, and his unparalleled courage, he becomes the object of envy and jealousy by perennial political failures and fraudulent interlopers in the Nigerian political space. But Asiwaju, by the grace of God and the well wishes of the vast majority of Nigerians, remains unstoppable. He is fully committed to the renewed hope of Nigerians for a greater nation. Vote wisely. Vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president in the 2023 elections.
Thank you for staying with us. When a hunter raises an alarm of his inability to catch bushmeat because they are all either on the run or no longer in the forest, then you know the pot of soup is in trouble. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has raised an alarm over the planned exodus by 4,000 of its members to foreign lands for better opportunities. The association blamed the exodus on government nonchalant attitude to members' salary, welfare, and other deserved packages, warning that the country might be heading to a point where it will no longer have doctors. Julie, we started this series yesterday, and it was when we finished the program, we got some calls and we even saw comments. Now, National Association of Resident Doctors, 4,000 of its members. As at today, I saw one story, I think on Punch, I think it's a doctor to 10,000 Nigerians now. The ratio, one doctor, one medical doctor.
It's getting worse.
10,000
Nigerians. It's getting worse. In 2015, 233 doctors moved to the UK. By 2016, 279 moved. In 2017, 475 moved. Just look at the way it's going up. In 2018, 852 moved to
progressively.
The UK. Just one country. In 2020, 833 doctors from here moved to the UK. And that was the year of COVID, though, 2020. 833 still managed to leave Nigeria.
Leave Nigeria at the height of COVID.
2021, 932 moved to the UK. We don't know how many.
2022 is going to
2022 will break all of these records.
Yes.
Because the rate at which people are living. I was telling you yesterday about an hospital a mission hospital here in Lagos. I don't want to mention that particular mission, where they are left with only one doctor now, because 10 doctors just left in 1 week. So what do you do? How do you deal with that kind of situation? And other health professionals are also leaving. It's not doctors alone. Nurses, pharmacists, lab scientists, they are all leaving. They are all leaving. 6,000 pharmacists left in less than 10 years. So now we don't have enough pharmacists. The problem is a country like India, they produce, their medical colleges produce about 50,000 medical doctors every year. So when we talk about this brain drain, India has more doctors practicing in the UK than Nigeria. I think after India, we have Pakistan and then Nigeria. We do not have our own schools, our own medical colleges do not have the capacity to produce the kind of doctors, the number of doctors that India produces. So there is no way that we will be able to cope if it goes on like this. Everybody, there was a survey in which fresh doctors were asked, do you want to work outside Nigeria? Nearly all of them said they don't want to practice here.
So immediately after graduation?
Yes, they are thinking of going. They are ready to write the exams, and in most cases, they will pass the exam. You pass the exam. No, Nigerians, they are very rugged. Nigerians, look, if they want something, they will go for it. Yeah. Hard work and everything. You cannot say Nigerians are not hard working. Everywhere they go, they excel. The environment, in fact, is like prepared for them to excel. Here, the environment is toxic. The environment makes it difficult for people to grow. The welfare, up to today, you know, even resident doctors, they are still quarreling with the Federal Ministry of Labor. You know, they resumed, they went back to work reluctantly. They are still quarreling. The other day, I think it was Wajabi Amila who said he was going to have a meeting with them to stop them from maybe another strike. How can we go on like this? We've got to do our best, invest more money in that health sector, bring in game-changing equipment across board, so that even when you see the equipment that you've been provided to work with, even that one alone will ginger you to give your best.
GKB, it's about the cheapest anywhere in the world when you want to study medicine in Nigeria, because heavily subsidized by, you know, the federal government.
By the system, yeah.
So all this College of Medicine across the country, you know, they produce every year medical doctors, but in a situation whereby they are not ready to practice here, they've seen what is happening, and everybody wants to just leave this country.
Well, yeah, I know that the doctors are very important to the system, but they are not the only one jackpot. You know, even down the spectrum, the people no longer do apprenticeship for mechanics. I'm talking about the lowest level that you can get.
No, nothing like that.
Oh, the most mechanics I know now in their 40s, they have no apprentices. Nobody's coming. So not only are we hemorrhaging at the top, we're also hemorrhaging at the bottom. Because to get in the next 5-6 years, we've run out of Freemasons, the carpenters. We now have to bring them from Togo.
You go to Republic of Benin to go and bring in tilers.
Tilers, yes, no.
That's where we are today. And I tell you, in the next 5 years, we'll run out of mechanics. We'll run out of, what's the other one? The wire, whatever they call them.
Electrician.
That's the level of hemorrhaging that our country is going through, both at the top and the bottom. And that to me is the danger that we face. Because the way it's going, we run out of professionals, even in our own profession, in the next decade. Because a lot of people simply look for opportunities and get out. And I don't care whether they have to go back as reporting cats shows in a Dallas suburb, or reporting for dog shows somewhere in New York. I'm talking about senior editors who are willing to go back.
Yes. Oh, the number of journalists that left.
And I know, because people just call me and said, I'm now in Canada. I just got this when they said, I'm reporting on car shows, on fashion shows. These editors will be editors for 10, 20 years. In normal countries, these people should be writing books on journalism. They are going back because they know they earn more. And the figure you gave, 10,000 to one Nigerian, that is for yesterday. In the next 2 years will be one doctor to 100,000 Nigerians. And people are going back to the Yalagbos.
We will just simply run out of them.
That's what we are going to be. The danger here is that those who are in government don't seem to
someone said something that did not even occur to me. We will play a part. Because when you have a strike and students lose a whole year, medical students are part of those who lose a whole year.
Yes.
When they lose 2 years, medical students are part of those who lose 2 years.
Yes.
So the production mill for medical doctors is already
grinding to health.
Yes, already affected. Meanwhile, those who are there who have started work, they are not prepared to stay here.
They are not.
They all want to leave. Nurses are leaving. Nurses are well sought after.
No, nurses are the highest level of migrants.
They are leaving. Pharmacists are leaving. Everybody is leaving. Until the environment gets better, until politicians become less selfish and commit themselves to making our country better, coming up with well-thought-out programs and policies that can actually change things radically for our country. Honestly, we will be going steadily down in many facets of life. This is a fact. There's no sentiment about it.
Most people are professors today, as you know, went through the scholarship system. The grand doctors, Nigeria paid for them. Yeah. The regions paid for them. They come back to serve for 5 years and they stay. Now, people are willing to owe scholarship money than to stay. I'm talking about people who are paid millions of naira, trained in Ukraine, trained in the US, who are supposed to come back home, spend 5-6 years, then go to private practice. They don't even want to come back.
No, a lot of even TED fund beneficiaries, TED fund funded researchers, they refuse to come back to Nigeria.
Government funded.
Yes, by TED fund. They send them abroad. They say they want to go and do research and all that. They simply stay there.
They're still researching.
There is a school not far away from where about a dozen of them. They just went and they jackpot there.
Kwara is even too far. IAR&T, not ITO. IAR&T, which is a UN institution that people beg to come to. They've run out of researchers. And these are people who are supposed to give us the kind of foodstuff that we can plant, that can give us food. It's that bad. And then we run out of professionals in the next 3-4 years.
If things continue like this.
All right. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Stay with us.
Everyone has a Chivita this season. What's your Chivita?
This place will have a recreational park that is designed to make life comfortable. Wellness is key, and we're putting this place that will help people to, keep up on their health where they go burn their fat. And the timeline for this project is estimated to start and end within 18 months. But however, it starts in phases. The first phase is to get this place secured and gated, which is done.
Mowe is a growing city, and if you are very, very smart, then you realize that the Lagos-Ibadan expressway that is being developed is going to throw Mowe open furthermore.
People that have gone ahead of us have great investment here, and even way in the 90s, even before we thought about coming here. So I think it's a good idea, Iderade coming here.
And then the aviation leasing company. We thought that this leasing company is to provide people the opportunity to lease equipment at very affordable prices and in Naira. Rather than you go to lease in Europe or America somewhere at very high cost, because the insurance risks in Nigeria, country risk is high. So if you go to lease, you get a high lease. So you lease very high, you borrow very high, and you come in a very difficult environment where things ought to be cheap. And then you try to do business. Certainly you are heading to crash. So no wonder we had the whole trades, the Harco, the Hako, the Chanchangi, the Kwalkwal, the Bellevue, the Medview, all of them down. These are the reasons. So we thought putting an ALC in place is extremely important to leverage and get some funding, at least equipment for this.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, I need a room to rent in your house.
Okay, where do you work?
I'm a nurse.
That means you won't owe me rent. Congratulations, young lady. You have yourself a house.
Well, thank you so much, sir. So, how much is the rent?
90,000 naira. Oh, but wait, where are you from?
I am from Akamata.
Akamata what? Akamata in my house? If you know how you got into my house, please get out right away. My spirit and that of Akamata people don't have anything to do together.
Sir, what have I done?
Your people from Akamata are known for bad things. That is what they represent, and you can't live in my house. Just get out right away.
What's going on?
Leave my house, young lady.
Yes, our differences extend to our languages, culture, food, and even belief. But we are bound together by the cord of love. With one heart, with one voice, we will make Nigeria a hub of greatness, a place where the people live as one.
This message is brought to you from the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the UK government.
How important is comfort to you? Is it as important as the day you discovered that self-love is the start of good life? Here is a comfort that your self-love, Iderade, transit into your serenity. The opportunity awaits you on this peace of mind as you pay in installments of 24 months with initial deposit of 500,000 naira. Serenity at its finest. Everyone has a Chivita this season. What's your Chivita?
Thank you for staying with us. The Senate Public Account Committee has uncovered alleged forgery of signatures in the payment of over 208 million to the beneficiaries of a zonal skill acquisition program organized by the Ministry of Labor. In the ongoing probe of more than 200 government agencies that benefited from the votes 5 trillion between 2017 to 2021, the committee discovered that few persons signed for all the participants in the 6th geopolitical zone to collect their stipends. Chile, what's this about?
Across the 6 geopolitical zones, the Ministry of Labor organized a skill acquisition scheme across the 6 geopolitical zones. And participants were paid 208 million in all. But what the senators discovered was that this whole money was released in cash.
Okay.
Transfers were not done electronically to these people. That in itself contravenes the law. You can't pay out this kind of money, humongous sum of money like this, without going through the banking system. You've got to either go through the banking system or use a banking instrument. They didn't do that. They paid cash. It's on record that it was cash that they paid. Now, in trying to scrutinize the list of people that they submitted, that they claimed were beneficiaries of the scheme and got paid stipends, they discovered that other people signed for those people. In some cases, you just see the name of a person written where he's supposed to sign. Where you are supposed to column for signing your name. You just write name there. Your name, full name is not the same thing as signature. It's signature that they ask for there. Now, they were also supposed to provide phone numbers so that in the course of their investigation, they can actually call those people and ask, how much were you paid? They did not attach phone numbers. This whole transaction, if I can call it transaction, also, they did not also bring the Auditor General's office into the picture. Now you are paying now this kind of money. So they know what they are doing. When you pay cash, it's a lot difficult to trace. So all these guys, what the senators are saying is that they are not convinced that all of these people were actually paid the monies that they claim that they paid them. So 35 million was paid as stipends to participants in each of the geopolitical zones, except the Southeast. You know, the Southeast with their 5 states, they paid them 32 million. But even if it is 1 naira that you are paying out, you got to provide proof that indeed that money got to the beneficiary. Yeah. And this is what happens in our country all the time. You set up something for the poorest of the poor. It is still the rich people that will come and corner it. The people for which it is meant, they will never benefit from it. Look at the Anchor Borrowers Program. Look at the Anchor Borrowers Program that the CBN continues to stand on rooftops making noise about. Many of the people who benefited from Anchor Borrowers Program are fake.
And not the targeted.
They set up fake cooperatives just to access the money. The other day, the CBN governor was complaining that these people were not paying back. How can they pay back? They don't have a farm.
Well, they don't exist.
They don't have a farm. They don't exist. They've used the money. They set up phony cooperatives just for the purpose of accessing the money. And the ordinary farmer who needs that money the most, they will be asking them to bring bribes, this and that. It's the same thing with a lot of government programs designed to help the poor. The people don't need help. They are the ones who will go there, corner the money. We come up with intervention funds here and there. The people who don't need the money, they are the ones who will get the intervention fund. I always talk about what happened in the aviation sector when they came up with that intervention fund. We could have helped, we could have saved Chachangi, for example. Chachangi was at one point the market leader in the aviation sector in our country. Then he started having problems. He needed help. He didn't get it. It was Jimo Ibrahim who could not compare to Chachangi with his own airline at that time. It was Jimo Ibrahim that got it. Man, no man.
Yes.
Is what is killing our country. I know you. This money is coming. You help me to facilitate receipt of the money. Those who need it more than me, who will actually make good things happen by accessing it, they will never get it. So this is where we are.
That's correct. Just like I was saying somebody over the weekend, when all these Naira notes were coming out, from wherever they're hiding them. And I was thinking that who in his right mind will keep such money somewhere where you have no access? There are people that this money will save their lives. In hospitals, in schools, people cannot pay.
School fees.
And somebody will now keep millions of naira
until it rots away.
Until it rots away. And then the cherry on the cake for me was the fact that it's very difficult to get new notes out of our banks. Yeah, those who go to parties to sell these notes always have the latest notes. Yes, you can even see the signature. And then
they pay this part of corruption.
Serious.
They pay those guys money and they will release
it. Yeah, the lady told me that to do this, I think they are 3,000 per 10,000. And they will give her about 100,000 or 200,000. So somebody in the bank, according to her, because that's what she told me, will be collecting about 500,000 or 3 million just to provide brand new notes. And that's that's corruption at its rawest.
Those new notes are supposed to be even fed into the
ATM.
So that it's easy to dispense and all that.
Yes.
Even to get 100 naira is even now more expensive than to get 500 naira notes. It is that bad. So when you are talking about government agencies, I think they are created mainly to siphon our money. And we cannot really pretend. My position has always been clear. The federal government does not have any business in intervention. This will be handled by the local governments who know each other. But you and I know that the man who is supposed to intervene on behalf of Lagos is probably somebody coming from Yobe. Somebody supposed to intervene in Enugu is probably coming from Lagos. So at the end of the day, he has no business because he doesn't know those people. He doesn't know their problem. He's just a little man.
To go.
So just take the money, look for his friends, and then do what he has to do.
All right. Challenges are a part of life, but when an avoidable life challenge becomes a permanent lifestyle, then the challenge has not learnt any lesson. Suspected arsonists have set the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, office in Izi local government area ablaze, although no life was lost. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, said main building, 340 ballot boxes, 130 voting cubicles, 12 electronic power generators, large water storage, tanks, furniture, and yet to be determined quantities of permanent voters' card, PVC, were all destroyed. Jide, what kind of pattern is this?
I don't know what these people are out to achieve, but let's not rule anything out.
Yeah.
Let's not rule anything out. There are people who have made up their minds that before their eyes, Nigeria must burn. There are people who do not even want this election to take place. Because there was a friend of mine who was saying, look, don't rule this thing out completely, that there may not be election. Have you not heard some people saying, are you sure there will be election? So when we start hearing this kind of stories that election may not take place, it makes sense to not simply dismiss such stories, because some people are probably somewhere who have made up their minds that, look, we must have maybe an interim government, this election must not happen.
National unity.
Because in our country, we've seen politicians, when things don't go their way, they go and connive with the military to say, military, come and take power. We've seen it happen in this country. Oh, this election was rigged, this and that, military, come and take power.
They're not even waiting for the election. They don't want it.
These ones, once they see that
the election,
the future does not bode well for them, at least the immediate future does not look rosy, they are prepared to throw spanner in the works, do whatever it takes to sabotage the process. People who are attacking INEC buildings with the intention of destroying INEC equipment and make INEC to find it difficult to summon enough capacity to be able to hold elections. We have to be very wary of them. We have to realize that
close to the election, 8 days to the election.
This is a big threat. And they are going on. In 3 weeks now, in 3 weeks, they've attacked 3 states. INEC, IPOB in the east. Yes, at a point, unknown government, IPOB or whatever they call themselves, were attacking.
But what happened in Ogun State?
But what do you say about Ogun and Osun? Is it IPOB that also operated there? So this is, in my view, part of a big conspiracy meant to ensure that we do not have elections. Between February 2019 and May 2021, 41 INEC offices have been destroyed. 41. And Imo State, yes, Imo at a point looked like
The epicenter.
The epicenter of lawlessness in our country. But there is some improvement in terms of security there now. But for them to come down, to the southwest, Abeokuta and Osun, that suggests to me that there is a bigger project that some people have to ensure that if things don't go their way, let them truncate the process.
The best way to stop that process is to stop INEC.
Yeah.
And when you are trying to hold them, we try to hamper the operations of INEC. You know, it's 88 days to the election. I think the federal government should look in the direction of fortifying all the offices across the country.
Well, that would be the first thing to think about. Basically, that, like Jide said, this is becoming a pattern.
Like this now, this is not in the state capital.
No,
this
no,
is in Izzi. Izzi is a local government in.
They look for isolated cases, isolated buildings where they can do maximum damage. I don't think that this is going to stop anytime soon, if nothing is done quickly, because we are a copycat.
Look at the number of even generating sets, power generating sets that they destroyed. That's reducing capacity.
Yes.
Because we're a copycat country. Once somebody is doing something and they're getting away with it, and that to me is the danger, because, like we said in the case of the corruption,
340 ballot boxes.
Nothing will stop me from thinking that somebody inside INEC is also aware of this somewhere.
I don't know how we can possibly think it's INEC people.
Because I don't understand. Because if you decided yourself, if their chairman decided and told us that they are going to keep everything in one place in the capital of the state, and you have this level of hardware in an isolated place, something is wrong. Because it was Mahmoud himself who said that they organize.
Or is it possible the voting cubicles, for example, is it possible to keep all of them in one place?
What happened to the cards? What happened to the things that they need? Because this is a local government.
They are not sensitive materials.
They are not sensitive materials.
In their location.
It's the PVCs that
it's going to be used. It is that.
So we have to.
And another problem is, okay, PVCs are not supposed to be far away from the registration points where the people registered, so that it becomes easy for them to access.
Yes.
So if you look at a state like Cross River, if I want to use Cross River as an example, you can travel from one point within the state for more than 6 hours going to another part of the state. The same thing with Taraba, you can even do 9 hours.
Same thing with Kogi.
You know? So in a big state like that, if we are to now move everything to the state capital, how will people be able to access their PVCs and the rest of them? It's just wherever we have INEC facilities, they just need to provide protection in those places and strong enough to withstand these good-for-nothing people. Because even in Abeokuta, they chased away the security people on duty. So we've got to provide strong. I know that the armed forces are stretched.
Overstretched.
Because to even everywhere INEC has offices, if you are to deploy soldiers
to 774 local governments.
774.
Yes. Most of the local governments.
It's going to be really, really tough. And we still need them on election day. It's going to be tough.
So we need to protect.
I don't know what these guys. I don't know. Frankly, I don't know what these guys are looking for. I don't know what they're looking for.
It.
In
they
3
just
weeks,
want to stop the election.
Burn 3 INEC offices in 3 days. 3 weeks.
They just want to stop
going
the election.
On, and it's going on. We have to find a way to stop it.
And one thing is very funny is that we don't get this corporate. We don't get them to confess to prosecute them.
On the 3rd of July 2022, in Enugu State, 740 ballot boxes were burnt in one location, and 240 cubicles. You need these cubicles at least to create a semblance of privacy, you know, so that people don't see who you are voting for. Yes. What, do they expect people to vote in the open or what?
A lineup.
And then the second part of it is the 2 guys that They found 468 PVCs. But then one of them actually had 367
Doing
PVCs.
what? With these beavers, that thing is
It's
useless.
politicians that are behind this whole thing. It's politicians. One way politicians can also use this for their own advantage is where they know they are not strong enough, they can buy people's PVCs. Thereby disenfranchising.
Those people will not turn up at all.
Yes, they won't. If you don't have
Yeah,
PVC, you can't vote. You have not to do. So they may not actually be doing it with the intention of rigging, but this is rigging in another form.
Yes.
If you stop people, you stop their capacity to vote because you're taking away the tool with which they can vote. You have rigged the election. You found a way to pave way for yourself. So this is those who are buying ballot. Material. Those who are buying PVCs, they must realize that the law is very clear. The law says any person who without lawful excuse, that's section 117 of the Electoral Act, says any person who without lawful excuse has in his possession more than one voter's card, or buys, sells, procures, or deals with a voter's card otherwise than as provided in this act, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a maximum fine of 1 million or imprisonment for a term of 12 months or both. Some of these laws need to be amended so that these boys can rot in jail. Because 1 million,
1 million,
their sponsors will easily come up with
1 million naira.
With 1 million naira fines.
So, I want to thank you. GKB. GKB lost his
Yeah, I lost my younger sister
last week.
Yeah.
Our condolences.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The backroom staff and everybody here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
God grant you the fortitude to bear
Amen.
the loss.
It's a debt that we all owe.
Yeah,
So our prayer is always that
not the young ones going
for
before
the
us.
years that the young ones, God should spare the young ones. We don't want to bury our younger ones.
And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. And don't forget to join us from Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Zubakon. See you tomorrow.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) in the coming 2023 elections in Nigeria. With a solid background in corporate accounting, consultancy, pro-democracy activism, political career and achievements as a two-term governor of Lagos State, and his role as the national leader of the ruling political party, Asiwaju is a great icon in the political and democratic stage in Nigeria. However, with the unethical activities of his political opponents and recent campaign of calumny by these elements, it is now time to set the record straight and put a final end to these false allegations. This is a true story for all Nigerians to know that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu clearly has no prior criminal convictions. The documents released by the Northern District of Illinois headquarters in Chicago on a narcotic trafficking and money laundering in an early 1990s case in Chicago, USA, did not indict Asiwaju. A U.S. federal judge subsequently dismissed the matter with prejudice on the 21st of September 1993, which effectively foreclosed the matter from being litigated again by all parties. In legal terms, a dismissal with prejudice means the ruling is the final judgment in the case. This dismissal prohibits the prosecutor from refiling the charges anywhere. With this foreclosure, these charges cannot be brought against Asiwaju in any other court of law worldwide. On the 4th of February 2003, the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria, in response to inquiries by Nigerian police force, wrote a letter to the then Inspector General Mr. Tafa Balogun and stated that the Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) and the National Crime Information Center (NCIC) had conducted record checks and the results were negative for any criminal arrest records, warrants or warrants for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. With the U.S. clearance of any criminality, this campaign of calumny against Asiwaju has no basis. The recent visit of the U.S. government officials to Asiwaju's presidential campaign office in Abuja, amongst other countries' ambassadors, further consolidates this position of truth. Let's end this distraction to Nigeria's democratic future and focus on supporting the only man whose track records clearly show that he is the most experienced and qualified man to lead Nigeria in 2023. It should not be surprising that Asiwaju is the target of all these insults, abuses, and campaign of calumny because he is the man to beat. He is a main contender for the Nigerian presidency because he stands head and shoulders far above any other contender. And because of his political success, his track record of achievements, his acknowledged vision, his remarkable knowledge, and his unparalleled courage, he becomes the object of envy and jealousy by perennial political failures and fraudulent interlopers in the Nigerian political space. But Asiwaju, by the grace of God and the well wishes of the vast majority of Nigerians, remains unstoppable. He is fully committed to the renewed hope of Nigerians for a greater nation. Vote wisely. Vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president in the 2023 elections.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Black Friday is here, and ShopX TV is proud to bring you a very special offer. We all know the benefits that come from eating a healthy, balanced diet, but sometimes that's not always easy. Until now. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the NutriBullet, the must-have kitchen item of the year. Here's how it works. First, add spinach for fiber, berries for antioxidants, and some banana for potassium. Add water and watch how the NutriBullet completely breaks everything down. Even almond nuts, cashew nuts, and tiger nuts have been completely broken down. The NutriBullet is not a blender. It's not a juicer. It's an extractor, a crusher. It's a grinder with a 600-watt motor combined with bullet cyclonic action that forces everything into its extractor blades, breaking down, pulverizing, and crushing stems, seeds, and skins, and releasing all the essential nutrients trapped inside. Tired of using blenders that are difficult to use and produce poor results? Yuck! Watch this as we compare a normal blender with the NutriBullet. The normal blender struggles to get through to the finer ingredients where all the nutrients are stored. But watch the NutriBullet just absolutely crush everything you put in. Stems, seeds, skins, nothing is spared with its 600-watt motor blades and bullet cyclonic action. There's simply no contest. There's so much you can do with the NutriBullet. And there's always something for everyone in the family, no matter your age. Even the kids benefit from a healthier diet, so start them early. The NutriBullet comes with everything you'll need to get started on your path to health and wellness. Want to make your favorite stew in record time? Watch as we pitch a normal blender against the NutriBullet. The NutriBullet simply annihilates everything with speed and ease.
The great thing about a NutriBullet is that it delivers to you every nutrient that your body needs.
I love the NutriBullet. I use it every day, and it's a great way to stay fit and healthy.
The global best-selling NutriBullet is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 120,000 naira for a blender that doesn't even break down and pulverize the stems, skins, and seeds. But wait! ShopX TV is proud to offer you a very special Black Friday deal. So, order now and get the white 600 watts NutriBullet for only 24,000 naira. Amazing! And that's not all. Place your order now and we'll deliver your NutriBullet for free. But hurry, this exclusive ShopX TV offer is for a limited period only. So, call now while stock lasts. Get the most out of your life by getting the most out of your food. NutriBullet, the original nutrient extractor.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Our planet, our home, threatened by man's activities with fears of mass extinction on the rise. On Green Angle, we examine the issues that affect our environment, seek solutions to put us on track to secure and restore a cleaner and greener world for generations to come.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.